Your referee is Nicole Green. It's 66 degrees. It's been misty here, but I would call this perfect college soccer weather. Game on here in Durham. And this is a big one in the ACC. Duke comes in at 7-3-1, UNC at 9-4. And it's two teams that clearly need the 3 points here. You're down to your final 5 games of the season. This is a bigger ball forward here. Going to leg it down is L. Piper. So what do you expect from these two teams to start here? And is this a week where maybe a coach is trying to pull people down a little bit because of the emotion of it?
It's a really tricky one because some players really thrive under that. And so you have to know your players, the individual personnel. But I do expect them to try to have a controlled approach, but still go after it.
Duke trying to clear their lines here. Big target up front is Mia Minestrella, who's got 8 goals and 3 assists on the year, but it's North Carolina here in possession here to try and gain some confidence to get this one started.
Well, it'll be really interesting to see what North Carolina does in possession against the press of the Duke Blue Devils. They really love to press from the front, be aggressive, and you're against a Tar Heel team that wants to possess out of the back, so something has to give at some point as they match up.
First touch for Caroline Dysart. 5 matches last year. Has been in the U.S. Youth National Team pool since 2019. And unforced error there. It's going to be a throw in here for North Carolina early. They've got all kinds of attacking options, and there's a deflection that goes right back to Dysart. I mean, you talk about the front runners for UNC, you're talking about names like Kate Fossey, Olivia Thomas, Linda Olmark. They
have a lot of combinations, both of these teams do, of how they can go and attack. But what's really interesting is the way that Carolina is pressing. They're going out of that 4-4-2 that they started with at the beginning of the year as their out of possession structure, but Duke finds their way out.
Found some good space here on the left side. Here comes Duke now. This is Minestrella. Can't control it. Boy, there's that fine line between trying to play out of pressure and just clearing your lines by hitting the corner flag.
Yes, and that's going to be something that both of these back lines are going to have to decide between that decision-making piece of when they go a bit more direct and when they look to have the composure and the calmness to try to combine against the pressure of the opposition.
This is the very talented Daya King. Played in an under-17 World Cup, brings a lot of great athleticism to that back line. So Duke now getting in here. This is Laguerre, who's going to switch it out here on the right. 21 is Lexi Conklin, who loves to get into the attack, a freshman.
And Duke's gone between building out of a 2-back system with their 2 center backs or building out of a 3-back. They're starting this game with a 2-back system of King and Roller and having L. Piper, who's returned into the lineup, go more inverted in the midfield. So they'll look to kind of try to find different types of overloads with those types of combinations against the Tar Heels.
One timed forward here. Trying to chase it down was Devin Lynch. Devin Lynch has won it. Devin Lynch is going to try it and just flies wide to the right of Hannah Johan in goal for North Carolina.
Well, that's how quickly Duke can strike. They're able to dispossess Gatino in this area. Devin Lynch steps up. This one is not that far off with a little more bend. That might have snuck into the top corner. But expect the Duke Blue Devils to really press anytime the center backs have possession of the ball and try to win it in their attacking third.
Senior out of Naperville, Illinois, has 2 goals and 4 assists on the year and creates a chance out of just winning the ball and going herself. North Carolina's gotten it wide. Here's a good ball into the box, and the offside flag is up on Olivia Thomas, but she will be testing that back line here today.
There's 2 things I like about that play, even though it doesn't actually come to fruition, is the early look. You can see Bella Debbie take a look over her shoulder. That's the one piece, but also Olivia Thomas just trying to play on that backside shoulder, working to get the timing right to get in behind the back line.
Duke off the free kick. And we're talking about 2 very young, successful, and 2 of the brightest young soccer minds in the country, and Kieran Hall of the Blue Devils and Damon Nahas of the Tar Heels, replacing legends, both of them. Kieran Hall replacing Robbie Church, and Damon Nahas replacing Anson Dorrance. Down the right side here. That's a good-looking ball into the box. Minestrella was in there. It comes right back in again. And that is some delivery that was wicked.
Well, that type of delivery from Coughlin is so essential because it goes right in behind the back line, which just makes defenders so uncomfortable when they're facing their own goal.
Things starting to really open up here. It's a late challenge. It's going to be a free kick. Duke countering some of the UNC attacks.
And it's this curving ball right there. The reason that's so good is because a goalkeeper doesn't want to come off their line there because it's bending away. Luckily for the Tar Heels, there were defensive players around that were able to help Johan in that moment. Otherwise, Minestrella is wide open.
Field a little slick too, by the way, just to remind you. It's been misty kind of rain here. North Carolina going to get the throw in here. They had common opponents in their last game. Duke, a 5-0 victory over Pitt, and UNC 3-1 over Pitt. So that's kind of interesting as well coming into this game.
It is, and both teams were really tested. For Duke, they didn't get their first goal till the 43rd minute right before halftime, and then it really opened up in the second half as they made some tactical changes to break down a really stingy back line and back unit of Pitt. Same for UNC, got an early lead, gave up an equalizer, and then were able to battle through. So a tough opponent for both of them that revealed some things that they needed to work on to get the 3 points.
Set piece here, a great opportunity for UNC to load the box up here. Thomas is obviously a threat in the air. They interchange positions there, but the cross doesn't beat the back line. Here it's now. North Carolina, and they're in a good position here to get an early cross in, and they are. It's a good driven-in cross. King got in there. It's still loose. It's a right-footed shot that goes over the top. Avon Alvarez picking up that stray ball.
And there's multiple chances here, but it starts with the aerial challenges of Olmark and Fossey. It bounces down really hard for Avon Alvarez to get it on the bounce, get over it. Give Mia Oliaro a lot of credit just for being there to throw off her technique.
Getting a good breeze here now as well. No telling with the big storm off the coast of North Carolina what type of weather could come in here today.
You're right, and it really yields to pressing from the front, which both of these teams want to do already. You can see that Fossey and Olivia Thomas want to make it a 2v2 against King and Cameron Roller. And for Duke, I think the more you can get Roller on the ball with her experience and her comfortability and technique, the better.
And Duke's going to kind of abandon playing out of the back right now, which may be a smart move here. Trying to bring it down was Minestrella. It's going to go all the way back now to Hannah Johan. She had 6 saves against Pitt, sophomore from Germany. Hope Munson. Touch was long. It was cleaned up there by Caitlin Mara. Mara getting the start here today. We'll talk to you about a few players that are missing for both teams. But North Carolina in a good moment to come out and transition here.
Great cover there from Cameron Roller as King gets caught a little bit high, although she has great recovery pace. Those are the moments for both of these teams that are going to be important to make sure that when they do lose possession, that they're able to retreat, read service, and protect the space behind the back line.
Coughlin trying to run it out. Good work from her. It'll be a throw-in Duke here. Another good turn from Coughlin. Excellent on the ball. Only a freshman from Corona, California. Oliaro plays it into the box, trying to find Minestrella. Oh, it's a clipped-in ball, and the flashing header is going to go wide. But some confidence building here for Duke in attack now.
Well, what I like is that there's secondary runners. That's something we know that Duke likes to have in their attack. Is there might be the initial runs, but then the secondary runner from midfield, incredibly hard to track. Devin Lynch does it well. You'll see Lauren Martino do that at times. And so the tracking of runners on both sides of the ball, critically important in their focus defensively.
Off the goal kick, Hannah Johan. And Duke remains in possession here. Taya King under pressure, got out of there beautiful with the quick feet.
But I like it there because the more Laguerre can get on the ball, the better. When she plays in that single pivot role, she just calms things down. She can look for the change of points. So the more that Roller and King can find her in those opposite gaps, that'll be really important for Duke to be able to set play in the midfield third.
And they found space here on the left side. Ministrella's in the box. Here comes Duke. They square it back. It's blocked. Big tackle along the end line. They're going to earn their first corner of the game here today. So chance for the Duke Blue Devils to load the box up here. So the captain, Oliaro, to take the free kick. You got some swirling wind here. You got some rain. Could provide a bit of a test off a corner. In it comes. That's a good-looking ball curling in, but it's won by North Carolina. First-time hit here is going to get lobbed and over the top. With that, we bring in the former coach of Duke. I'm going to call this man a legend. He is Robbie Church.
Absolutely.
Who joins us. 24 years in charge at Duke and brought this title to national prominence. Thank you for coming in, Robbie.
Oh, thank you guys. Two of my favorite people right here. How lucky did I
could
get
say the same thing.
How lucky did I get to come to this game and then see you two and be able to come up here? So it's a little weird sitting here and standing here watching this game as it unfolds. So hopefully I don't yell anything or say anything the wrong thing here real quick.
Good play from Dysart to get off her line.
You're allowed to do that. You can do what you want.
Yeah, so the process of leaving your baby here a little bit, this can't be an easy thing.
Yeah, but you know, it was time. And 24 years is a long time. 43 years of coaching. I've been very, very blessed. Been blessed to be at Duke that long. But you know, the process, and I really, you know, Chris Kennedy, Nina King, Todd Mesenbaum at that time we named Kieran as a head coach before we left. I thought was just a fantastic move. And, you know, it's in such great hands with Carla and Kieran. They've done such a great job this year, and they will continue to take this program and take it to greater heights.
When you've mentioned your staff and just all the people that have such influence, can you talk a little bit specifically about Kieran Hall and some of his special qualities and what he brings to this team as the head coach?
Yes, he's absolutely awesome. First and foremost, he's a great coach, but he's a great person. And that was the main thing here at Duke. He understands the academics and the athletics together, and that's very special here at Duke. He's an outside-the-box thinker, and we need that in the college athletics as it is today. He's very committed to grow as a coach. He's, you know, right up with all the new things that's changing in our game every week. So he's a perfect person. He was, you know, on our staff for 7 years and just did a fantastic job. A major the great soccer you saw us for.
Get back to that in a second. Here's Olivia Thomas and the offside flag up again. Second time she's been caught here teetering along that back line, and you certainly know a lot about her.
Yes, she's a handful. She was a handful for us the 3 years that we played against her, and, you know, very, very great player. So yeah, I think Kieran is great. You know, another thing was to keep Carla too, and obviously with Carla Overbeck, who is there's the legend. If you're looking for legends of you know, when Carla's been here over 30 years at Duke for over 30 years, so to keep them together and in taking this program and working, not missing a beat in recruiting, not beats in training and stuff too. I'm just very, very proud of them.
Yeah, the former U.S. Women's National Team player Carla Overbeck. We were going to get to mentioning her, but I appreciate you getting it done for us.
Absolutely. Well, how nice is it just to come back and just be able to watch this rivalry as well, this type of game. I assume you're here for a reason. It's a great rivalry throughout the years, and you've been a part of some great games. How does that feel being back for this one?
You know, as you know, Casey, it's always special. It's the greatest rivalry in college athletics is Duke and North Carolina. And just, you know, to even have a small part, the women's soccer small part, we all felt, coaches, players, support staff, everybody felt part of it when you have this game. And, you know, it's everything goes up. Everything is, you know, is doubled. The intensity, as you see in this game, is, you know, already started off. And both teams, I think, are playing very well to start off. It's been a good, exciting match. So, you know, I think I've handled it pretty well. Today's been a little bit tougher. Today's than other days because it is Duke Carolina, and I missed kind of that special rivalry with it too. But I'm happy to be here and watch it in this with my wife Linda and stuff too. So it's been great. We came up yesterday and stayed, and then we'll go back to the beach tonight.
Robbie, I want to thank you very much for coming by. What an outstanding career. Thanks for jumping in the booth here. We appreciate it.
Thank you for everything you've done.
JC.
We really appreciate it. You've left your mark.
You guys have done fantastic. It's great to hear both of you and see both of you too. So,
you too.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
That's the legendary Robbie Church. 24 seasons at Duke, 4 times to the NCAA College Cup. In fact, I called one of his College Cup when he got to the final against Penn State. Here comes North Carolina now. Well, the stars just keep on coming here today. Yeah, such a great guy, very humble man as well. And boy, did he build this program and take it to the next level into a national powerhouse.
He certainly did. And we were talking about it earlier. I've known Robbie since I was 16, 17 years old, was able to be coached by him as a youth player. And just to see the success he had, obviously as a coach is great, but just what a wonderful person as well to take the charge throughout these collegiate careers.
Yeah, I can only wonder what's going on through his mind here today, you know, being the competitor that he is and watching the program and being up in the crowd as opposed to being on a sideline. Here's a direct ball again, and Thomas is onside this time. So Duke is going to have to recover here defensively. Olivia Thomas's shot in the end is rather tame, handled easily there by Caroline Dysart, but got some good pressure there from Coughlin.
There's a bit of variability, and Bella Gattino is known for looking to go more direct. Cameron Roller hopes for the offside instead of reading the service and dropping, but there's hesitation from Olivia Thomas. She's not sure she should play it across or go to goal herself. That allows them to recover Duke and cut the angle for the shot.
Now we've seen now, that's about the 3rd time, 4 times that North Carolina has that direct and vertical option. Thomas has won it back here after some great work from Alvarez. Kate Fossey on that Mac Herman list, the senior from Phoenix, Arizona. What a talented player she is. She can come to life at any moment.
And with her pace up top, along with Olivia Thomas, that's something to be thinking about. But it's not just reading the service. The pressure on the ball has to be better. So you don't want to just put that on the back line necessarily. It's about getting pressure on that initial service to make sure that they don't have time to play that direct ball in behind.
Game being held here as you get a good look there at Bella Devi of North Carolina. 3 goals for her on the year. Just a reminder, North Carolina is the defending national champions. The cross comes in, and the clearance is a bit awkward. It's going to lead to a corner here for the Tar Heels as we tick down towards the 27-minute mark here in the first half.
Let's go, dude. Everything out.
Duke setting up a little bit zonally here, kind of a hybrid to defend this corner. Della Rose off the corner. Curls in. It's still loose, and boy, cleared off the line there. Well, that's a dangerous ball, just over hit to the back post by Linda Olmark. We haven't talked a lot about her. Take us into her as a player.
It's been a bit more direct. She likes to play between the lines, but what she does here is show the vision. It's initially cleared out right there as Bella Devi tries to go in. It's Bella Gattino that goes up for the initial challenge, but Linda Olmark is one of those players that has really good vision, and she almost connects with Kate Fossey at the back post.
Pretty incredible to think these teams met 4 times last year. This is their first time this year. They met in the ACC tournament final, and they also met in the College Cup semifinals, which I guess we didn't really need more familiarity because the contempt is already here, but maybe that added even more.
Like they needed more fuel to the fire, just continue to play over and over, and let's raise the stakes every time as well. But it does allow for these teams to make tactical differences and changes, and that's a real challenge as you go throughout a season. But this is the first time they're seeing each other, so they're really not trying to feel each other out. They're both just going for it, which I really like. And this is that last foul looking to take on in the wide space was Elle Piper. Really upends Bella Debbie in that moment. She takes her down.
Good to see Piper out here after injury last year, and of course, very, very talented player. U16 U.S. national team. I mean, so many of these players have youth national team experience. We could be here all day talking about it. Another captive chance for Duke here to get a number of players around the box here. They got 6 in and around the 18 in the arc. Some different movements here. Ball comes in. Towering header at the back from North Carolina. This is Olmark.
That's better counter pressing though from Duke. Getting pressure was Lauren Martino in that space, and it was Avery Oder, and still Carolina's able to get out the other side. But the counter pressing piece was something that Kieran Hall really stressed with us, that needed to be efficient, they needed to get numbers around the ball and be willing runners.
Coughlin tried to pick out the feet there of Oliaro. It's been a nice relationship down the right side of the field between those two.
And Oliaro has the ability to invert more inside, and that allows Coughlin to get around.
Thomas on her left foot whips across to the back post. That was a streaking Fossey trying to get in there on the end of it, and that's how quickly those two can combine. And now Duke takes the pressure off here and kind of stands on it. Big header there by Mara, who's won a number of headers here so far today, doing well at center back position.
And the Tar Heels have struggled in aerially, but Mara does bring that. They've struggled throughout the year on aerial challenges, on set pieces, in the middle third, and so she definitely brings that skill set. It's a different player profile as she gets inserted into the lineup.
You have to remind yourself, you got players going off to national team camps. You've got a very serious time period of studying in college, all these other things that get juggled by these student athletes.
Well, not to mention Kat Rader not playing today for Duke, who is just a big loss on the attacking contribution side, but also from a leadership perspective. But it is that next up mentality. There's so many capable players on both of these rosters that can step up and fill shoes. You won't necessarily replace those players, but you may have to figure out by committee how to replace some of their contribution.
The gear. Switches it, Lexi Coughlin. Alvarez is getting doubled up and getting fouled here by the sideline. It will be a free kick for the Tar Heels.
But I would assume Kieran Hall of Duke likes that, because there's at least pressure on the ball. When they haven't been able to get pressure, that's when Kate Fossey and Olivia Thomas has been able to go behind. So I like the commitment in the wide channel for Devin Lynch and Oliaro to really put pressure on and make sure Alvarez cannot penetrate forward.
It's a hooked ball towards the corner flag. This is Munson now. The left back who's gotten forward has gotten a good cross in as well. Players go down in the box. And it's going to be a goal kick here. Duke wanting a foul.
And this is one of the few times we've seen Hope Munson get a little bit higher up the field and use her ability to cross balls. It looks like she's going to go inline, instead cutting back. Oliaro just a little bit too aggressive. Goes over the head of Thomas, and Elle Piper has a bit of combativeness on the back post with Fossey as Fossey comes through Piper in the end. Looks like it would have been a foul to me, but it'll end up being a goal kick.
Elle Piper, red shirt junior. As you look on there at Kieran Hall. He was on the men's staff here with John Kerr Jr. at Duke. Moved over. Player at Fort Lewis in Colorado during his career from Blackburn, England. They've had a 10-day break, and North Carolina's had a 7-day break, so they've come into this game pretty fresh based on the condensed college soccer schedule.
And that doesn't happen that often in a 3 to 4 month season. You very rarely find yourself having more than 3 or 4 days max to be able to prepare for a team. So this lined up really well for both of these programs.
Here's Fossey, looking right, looking left. She's brought in the left back Munson. Here's Munson, nice penetrating ball. Duke just besieging the North Carolina players as they get near their penalty area.
Well, and what we're seeing, the reason we're not seeing Linda Olmark, I think, as much on the ball is because the way that Duke's defending centrally, and there's a lot of numbers for North Carolina in those attacking mid-rolls because they're in that 4-1-3-2. And so it just condenses the space in there, and Duke's doing a good job of just not allowing her to get on the ball with a lot of time.
Piper just swiveled that one out of there. Well, as much as we talk about, there's so many things you could talk about in this game, from tactics to individual players, but how about just simply talking about the play in both boxes here today from the attacking and defending standpoint?
Well, that really is what separates games, especially when you're in a conference like the ACC, where there are such little margins to being able to get victories, to be able to qualifying for the ACC tournament. And so the defending in the box, the touch-type marking, the timing of runs, all of that could be the real difference because it's a battle in between the boxes.
Finestrella, if she can get there. No, it's a big tackle by Hope Munson, the freshman. Mia Oliaro. Coughlin this time got caught in possession. That was a full-blooded tackle there coming from Alvarez. $30 goals for, 12 against for Duke, and 2.73 goals per game average. They concede 1.9. Last year lost in the semis to North Carolina, and they produced a season of 18-3-1 under Robbie Church. North Carolina scoring 2.6 goals per game and conceding 1.
Well, I think with both of these teams and talking to both coaches, they want their teams to play with freedom and flexibility to go forward. And ultimately, you are going to give up goals because of that at times. But you allow your players to make decisions, be autonomous, have freedom to go forward. And both of these teams do that. I think that's why we're seeing a lot of end-to-end action from both of these groups.
There's a whipped-in cross. And again, good defending there, coming from Caitlin Mara. Thomas in full flight here. She can be a one-woman show if she wants to be. She's being one right now. It's still Thomas. She's fought her way through it. She's played it out wide. And a good recovery there. Huge, huge tackle coming back defensively from Piper. And cleared this time. Just getting it out of there was Dia King. Duke had a couple of shots in the beginning of this match. Last 15 minutes, not much. This is a direct ball going to go all the way back to Caroline Dysart. She only played 84 minutes last year in 2024 from San Diego, a sophomore. There's two goalkeepers that have had to wait their turn.
And that sometimes has to happen, and you got to compete until you're ready and you show you can win that spot outright. But then when you do, you're usually ready to come in and really make a difference. And that's something that she's certainly done for Duke.
Looked like a good build up there. It just broke down at the end. It was Devin Lynch who's had the best chance for Duke in this one so far. Mara. Alvarez. Olmark still trying to put her imprint on this game.
Laguerre does a good job just trying to keep Olmark on this side. That's where this commitment is, to just keep them to one side. Right there, they're not able to connect, but Duke doing a good job, especially when North Carolina gets in this possession. They just don't want them to be able to penetrate forward and find those slip balls, but it takes numbers around the ball with a lot of pressure.
Well, it shows you where the wind is a little bit there. That one just got hung up. Not trying to be a weatherman here, but that one might have went over the halfway line, if not for the breeze, which is going into the faces of North Carolina. Space out wide here. Oder, who got the start here today, top of the box, picked out a great run there from Martino. So some good work from Oder out wide. Both teams are a touch or an idea away from it. It's a hooked-in cross. It's going to go over everybody, out for the goal kick. Just saw Mia Minestrella there. She's got 8 goals and 3 assists. She's a junior from Redondo Beach, California. She has scored in 4 of the last 5 for Duke.
Well, one of the things that she's really good at is timing her run for those little slip runs in between center backs. And as the game opens up even more, I would assume that Martino, Lynch, and even potentially substitutes coming in will get on the ball in that half space and be looking for her. So it's something that opposition back lines have to be really aware of, because it's just a matter of a second where she can lose you as a mark.
Minestrella with the right arm push there. She's going to get caught for that foul. Glenn Davis alongside Casey White. Koskinen Stadium, Freeman Field, Durham, North Carolina today. The great rivalry, Duke and UNC.
There's always just a little something extra in this game, and you can see it this entire first half. Hope Munson does a good job just stepping right in front to her left, getting her body in, drawing the foul. But there's that little extra, and I love seeing that. It's definitely different than some of the ACC games we've seen. They're all competitive, but there's just that extra piece of running and willingness to tackle here today.
Delaros goes back to Mara. Mara's going to launch a big ball here. That one's going to hang up in the air. Header's going to be won there by King.
I think there's really going to have to be a learning curve with those long balls that they're playing out of the back for North Carolina. They're seeing that it's getting caught up. So now Duke's adapting as well. They're dropping for the early service. So it's just not working like it did earlier in the first half.
Looking right, looking left is Martino. She gets dumped. It's going to be a free kick. Was looking for options, couldn't find him, held the ball, draws the free kick.
And this is where that aggressiveness comes in again. Martino has all the advantage in the world having her body in. Just a bit of a needless foul from Linda Olmark. It's okay if it's in the middle third, but if you're starting to do that closer to your goal, you're letting players from the opposition set up for some really dangerous set pieces that could be the difference.
Well, Liaro stands over it. She's got a little run to her right from Coughlin, which pulls a defender away. Out comes another one in Hope Munson for UNC. Comes into the box, and again, it's gobbled up in the air. Right-footed shot, had some power on it, but never was a threat. But again, winning a lot of balls at the back today for UNC. In the air is Caitlin Mara.
And they're going to have to try to find a run to go across Mara, but try to beat her with the service. But Martino does well to get the second ball, clean that up. Doesn't connect properly on the shot from distance. But you bring up a good point about Mara doing well in the back out of the air. So now with Duke's set pieces, they're going to have to think about over-hitting the ball if possible, or playing short to take that out of the game.
Yeah, play away from her, right?
Exactly.
She's looked very dominant back there. Hope Munson coming up the field to take the throw for North Carolina. Going down towards 13 minutes left in the half. Here's Olmark now. It's always dangerous when she's on the ball. She brings a lot of ideas. Olmark. Thomas likes to pull out on the left side sometimes to find the ball. This time she does, but it's one back here by Duke.
And something she's doing is trying to play between Cameron Roller and Lexi Coughlin, or come all the way wide. So then there's this discrepancy of who picks her up in that moment, and that's something that they'll have to sort. But I will say, even though North Carolina is getting forward, there's not a lot of clear opportunities that Duke's allowing.
Yeah, good point. Munson. Possession, territory, it's all great. At the end of the day, you ask how many chances have you created? There's been some moments of threat.
Yeah, to the eye test, it does feel like North Carolina is getting forward more, but both teams are actually even on final third and box entries. And so it really is just not necessarily a matter of possession, but how effective you are out of that possession, what you create, and how clear the opportunities that you are able to create in those moments.
Big tackle from Munson as Lexi Coughlin was trying to get forward again. got a change here for Duke.
Yeah, Sonacheva is a player that can come in and really press from the front. I think she'll help with just the intensity of the press, the intensity of winning the ball back when there is a loss of possession. Both teams are giving up the ball too easily on that first pass when they do turn the ball over. So there's an opportunity to be able to press, and I think she can do that.
Sonacheva, a senior from San Jose, California, has a goal and 3 assists on the year. Played part of her college career at UCLA.
And this is just the last play with Coughlin and Munson coming in a little late, just very awkward. There was no contact there with Coughlin. Just a bit of an awkward challenge as Munson went to slide and get it out of play.
Carolina has not had a shot since the 17th minute.
Well, that's exactly what we were speaking about, is that there's this possession piece, and it's making Duke look disjointed in their own possession, but it's not really resulting on those high quality chances in the final third, and that's something that will have to be figured out for both teams. And I think for North Carolina, if they don't figure that out, Duke's going to have the opportunity at halftime to really adjust, and they will adjust because Kieran Hall has been shown to do that, and it'll make it harder.
Entering the gate for North Carolina, number 11, carries Freifeld.
So Freifeld will come on for the Tar Heels. And that will go Hope Munson, who went down injured.
Well, it has to be said that Avon Alvarez is somewhat of an MVP for the North Carolina Tar Heels throughout the season. She's played right back, left back, center back, and today she was playing in the midfield. So she slides easily into that left back spot for Hope Munson as Freifeld comes in. So a different player personnel, but someone who's used to playing in the back.
Freifeld from Bend, Oregon. Played 27 minutes against Pitt. Freshman with 2 goals. Out wide here now, it's Lynch. Lynch trying to get past the defender. And that fight is going to earn a corner here for Duke. In a game where there haven't been a lot of chances here, maybe on the stroke of halftime, a corner could be the entryway for the Blue Devils.
A good battle here, and I like what Lynch does. She just makes Gattino look like she has to play it. Then she finally steps in, gets the extra touch, hits it off Gattino to earn the corner kick.
Short one. Comes in, oh, it's a dangerous looking ball. It's buried away, first time shot. Fell right to the feet of Duke. Over the top it goes, out for the goal kick. What an opportunity there.
This is what we're talking about, Glenn, is they bypass Caitlin Mara. There's enough power on this ball from Piper that it goes over Mara's head. Then it causes confusion because it's almost like everyone's expecting her to head the ball. Sonacheva gets right on it. She reads it well, but she hits it on the bounce up. She's got to get her body over the ball to try to get that on frame, but a good opportunity for Duke.
Sonacheva having just come in the game, that chance falls right to her. If you look at Hannah Johan in goal there, is that ball, should that have been a ball that's held?
It should be. It should be held. It is hard the way it's coming down at a trajectory and skipping, so it's not the easiest. So sometimes goalkeepers just try to play it safe and make sure to get it out of the space. But Sonacheva does a good job of just being in the right place at the right time.
Estrella trying to fight to get it back. Launched forward there by Gattino. Offside flag up again.
Offside, North Carolina.
Feel both teams being pretty conservative here in this first 45 minutes?
At times, yes, but I also think there's some direct verticality as well in the play from both of these teams. What they haven't quite figured out is how to turn that verticality and how to turn that direct play into shots on goal. So it's like they're almost getting there, but I think the back lines have to be credited for that as well. There's been some good recovery from both sets of center backs, and they haven't really figured out how to completely get in behind and have those clear chances.
Here's a stat for you. 20 minutes, UNC has not had a shot.
With the way both of these teams are pressing, I think change of point is critical, or how you press. And so which team can find out how to build against pressure or get out the other side, because there's acres of space.
Here's a big win and a nice ball forward. The combination play just off there as Oliara tried to bring in a teammate. Roller plays it wide. Not able to get turned was Martino. Here's one that's flashing in the box, but there's a whistle. It'll be a free kick for North Carolina. Talk about some of the youth on both of these teams, because there has been a lot of turnover for both these coaches.
There certainly has been, and one part right here is where Martino's going, Mara's defending. One of the freshmen for North Carolina, Aries Freifeld, comes in, is able to earn the set piece to make sure they don't go the other direction. But two players missing for North Carolina, and Riley Kennedy and Lauren Malsom with the U17 World Cup, and those are big losses. But also for Duke, you have Avery Oder, you have Lexi Coughlin in the back line, you have Daya King in the back line, and Jocelyn Travers has been playing back there as well. We haven't seen her today as Elle Piper's in there, but that was 3 freshmen along the back line of Duke. And Duke has not given up a lot of goals on this season with a really young back line of 4.
Big run out of midfield here. Laguerre gets it wide. Oliaro now picks her head up. Nothing in front of her, as North Carolina's gotten back behind the ball here. Heading off passing lanes, forcing Duke to try and figure it out here.
I think this is smart by Duke, because they haven't established a lot of the retaining of possession in this half. So enjoy the ball a little bit, let it develop, start to gain some confidence, and move the players of the UNC Tar Heels around a little bit and enjoy it in their opposition's half.
They'll get a throw in here. I have to say, Mara has really stepped up, getting the start here at center back today for North Carolina. This cross bypasses her off the post. Is it saved? Unbelievable sequence. Pounced on by Hannah Johan. Will the referee Nicole Green take a look at this? Yes, she will.
But honestly, it should be looked at if there's a capability for it to be looked at. And it didn't appear that they called it on the field that it was in. But when you have video review, why not? You see in this area just going for the long surfaces, Oliaro. And because of the curve of that ball, it doesn't appear to be over, not even close, to be honest with you. But I think in this critical of a game, you go ahead and take a look at it when you have the technology. Mia Minestrella gets that little bit of a touch, but it's the service bending in. It throws Johan off, thinking that Gattino is going to clear it, and then she's completely caught off guard.
There's another look at it here. But I agree with you. It didn't look like it crossed the whole line.
It certainly doesn't look like it. It looks like it's bouncing right onto the line there. So I don't think this is going to be called a goal by any means, unless there's something they see. But Sonacheva is actually celebrating right there instead of coming in and going. It allows Johan to be able to recover in that moment. So a good heads-up play if this ends up not counting.
Probably got to go take a look at it. All the Duke fans were making the VAR symbol.
If we're going to have it, you might as well use it. That's the way I look at it. Make sure you get it right. We have that technology for a reason.
So we're under video review right now. Let's talk about that last attack, though, and the type of run there and the type of delivery, because it was a beautiful ball flighted in.
A lot of times that in-swinging ball doesn't cause a lot of issues because it goes straight to a goalkeeper at times. But Mia Minestrella, by slashing her run in front of the goalkeeper, is what changes everything. It draws a defender, then it causes traffic in front of Johan, where she can't see the ball as clearly, doesn't judge it quite as well.
So here's Nicole Green, gives the VAR sign, and it is no goal. So it'll be a goal kick here. And you called it, and it was pretty conclusive when we looked at the angle we had. But you know what I liked from Minestrella was the fact that she kind of wrapped her foot around a defender. You know, she was marked quite well.
She
Still
was.
made contact just enough to redirect it.
She did it just in time as Gatino's taking a step rather than going towards the ball. It's that split second where she's able to impact the play, get it on frame.
Well, Hannah Johann now gets the ball here from Germany, and was never a doubt in her mind it didn't go in. I think we're reminded here of the brisk nature of the wind going into the face of North Carolina.
Well, if it stays in that direction, that's certainly something that Kieran Hall and his staff will address when Duke's trying to play out of the back, although they haven't employed as much of a direct style of play as North Carolina has in their in-possession structure, but something to address. I also think he may consider trying to build out more out of a three-back, which they've kind of done a little bit in this half, but because there's two forwards of North Carolina, it makes sense to create that +1 overload.
It was Ashley Penny stepping in there for North Carolina. This is Martino now. Duke has had sort of a little bit more of the energy here in the final minutes of the first half. They've won it back here again. It was Mara who stepped up to break that play up, but still Duke in possession here. Duke's going to let fly here. It's a tester. It's parried down in front of her by Hannah Johann.
Well, something to consider as well as the game has slowed down a little bit and been more in Duke's favor in possession is that there's only been one sub per team, so limited usage as Elle Piper goes for this. Doesn't quite float as much as she would want that to, but a good strike on frame. But the game tends to slow down a little bit when you're not going as deep into your bench as well, so you want to prioritize keeping the ball.
There's the shot count, 7-2 for Duke. Under 4 minutes left here in the first half. North Carolina and Duke tied at 0. Olivia Thomas will come out. Jenny Deary will come on. Freshman. We've been saying freshman a lot here.
We have.
Well, to that point, are the freshmen more equipped now coming into the college game in your mind?
I think the game continues to evolve, so it's always a challenge, but they have to adapt quickly, and we're seeing those reclassification freshmen as well, and they're coming in and having impact. So the entire game has grown and allowed players to evolve even at a younger level to come in and have that kind of impact.
This first half for North Carolina, the fewest shots they've had in any half against an ACC team. Just 2 today, but it only takes 1, and here they come. It's a first-time ball into the box. Oh, trying to line it up with her left. Hooked it off, decided to keep possession here. Alvarez. It's Coughlin back defensively. Alvarez again for North Carolina now. A good run here from Alvarez. She just keeps on going. Tries to square it back. Earns the corner for the Tar Heels. A great run there from Avon Alvarez down the left side.
She just has such a high footballing IQ, but this is how they get in. It's through direct play. Kate Fossey times her run well. Overhits this one a little bit to Jenny Deary on the far side. Not able to get that in, but then Avon Alvarez decides to take over, gets into an advanced space around the corner, and a great tackle from Coughlin to ensure the service doesn't come across.
Delaros to take it. Goes towards the near post. It's knuckling. It's punched away by Dysart. North Carolina wins it back, though. Are really putting in an effort here to try and get an opening goal. Takes a deflection and clean handling there from Carolyn Dysart.
Duke is starting to figure out how to get through this midfield. They got a little lucky on that ball as it goes through, but they're starting to find the wide triangle areas, those overloads. We didn't see that early on, but now they're developing more into those outside channels, and it's helping their possession play.
Under a minute left here in the first half. Oliaro has drawn 3 defenders. Is going to earn a corner. So they got 40 seconds to get this corner off here. It would be huge drama. Third corner of the game for Duke. Driven in towards the near post, nobody there, but it comes right back out and fired back in off the mark and out for the goal kick. That's going to run the first half out here.
10, 9, 8,
Well, put a bow on this first half, Casey. Your thoughts?
It's been really interesting. It started very quick, very end-to-end, a lot of energy, but it really slowed down as the half went on. Now I think both teams are trying to figure out, okay, how are they actually going to break down the opposition? Duke started to play their way in a little bit more. So those pressing moments and the way they play out is really going to be impactful in the second half.
Duke and North Carolina. So whistle game on here in the second half in Durham. A lot at stake for both these teams. And one of the great women's college soccer rivalries. It's Duke right off the start here. It's going to tease a goalkeeper out, and out she comes. Hannah Johan. This one driven over the halfway line. Olivia Thomas would expect Linda Olmark. They would want to get more out of those two in the second half. Fourth-ranked Pitt traveling to Tully Gymnasium in Tallahassee, Florida to face Florida State today at 3 Eastern on ESPN. That is a good ACC women's college volleyball matchup. 3 Eastern time. So Duke here.
So no tactical change in the way that the North Carolina Tar Heels are looking to press. They're still making the center backs play long, matching up 2v2 against both Roller and King in those moments. And this is what they want. They want to be able to turn over in possession, be able to set play a little bit higher up the field off the press.
Left-footed ball down the line there by Mara. You heard the comments from the head coach, Damon Nahas, on her first 45 minutes and taking her opportunity.
Yeah, Mara's been a good addition into the back line, and there's going to be moments in possession like that when you haven't played as many minutes that you're going to have those miscues. But what she's done from a defensive standpoint, tracking not only players, but tracking service, tracking balls, has been really essential because Duke really relied on service in the first half, and that they needed that box defending the Tar Heels.
Again, it's around 66 degrees, breezy, breeze going into the faces of Duke here in the second half, and they're trying to get out of their half right now here.
But you can run all day in this kind of weather. This is the weather you want, is just to be able to have this kind of temperature and just continue to run.
Beautiful spinning turn there from Sonacheva. Bit of a skill master move there. Gattino trying to push it forward. This is Olmark coming back to be a part of the buildup. It's a loss of possession. It's one back here. Oder. And referee Nicole Green is going to give a goal kick here. Caitlin Mara involved again.
And this is the opportunity for us to see how Duke's defending as well in the 4-1-4-1. So the gaps for North Carolina are on the sides of Karina Laguerre, but the pressing really good there on Avon Alvarez. She has no time to be able to breathe and be able to play out against that first line of pressure.
Yeah, Minestrella pushed the play to that side of the field. Here's a cross coming in. Maybe a chance to make it one off the head. It is one. What a fantastic goal. Duke has scored. Karina Laguerre has given them the 1-0 lead here in Durham.
And there's a commitment to press in its entirety here from the Duke Blue Devils, and they get their reward. They first do it to earn the throw-in on the far side, but then it's Mia Minestrella off the backwards header, just doing whatever she can to get it across. Ashley Penny not able to clear it. It falls right to Karina Laguerre, who's condensed the space to go to the top of the box. She has that perfect first and second touch, and what a strike it is with her left foot, unsavable from right inside the penalty area to take the lead.
With the way she got her feet set so quickly and released that shot is really eye-popping. It's a fantastic goal. It's the way Duke would have wanted to start the second half here.
Well, you pointed it out, Glenn. What I really liked was not only her first touch, which dictates everything, but that second little touch. It was the prep touch to get the shot off. She does it at an angle that allows her to go for power or precision, and she's able to connect on both of those aspects of finishing technique in the perfect moment.
Nice little flick here. Bella Devi now. A lot of game to be played here. This is Piper.
Well, after that goal, Glenn, I don't see any world where this game doesn't open up a little bit more, because inevitably the North Carolina Tar Heels are going to have to push, and they're going to have to continue to try to go forward, and that could really put a lot of pressure on Duke. But there's confidence now in the Duke Blue Devils. They're also going to be able to have some gaps that the Tar Heels might vacate in order for them to try to extend the lead. So that next 5 minutes or so, we should see how each of these teams react to that goal.
Well, they've got the tactic changing games first goal. What would those be for Duke?
Well, I think for Duke, it's just a matter of managing these next 5 minutes, because there's inevitably going to be a motivating factor that comes from the Tar Heels just trying to go forward, react immediately when their opposition and Duke is susceptible. So just be smart out of the back, stay condensed, stay tight, narrow the field, and make sure that you don't give up anything silly in central channels that can give a transition moment to the Tar Heels.
Boy, all of a sudden, Duke is looking livelier. There's a bit of a jump in their step here. Next up for now, North Carolina, to see if they can equalize here. Mara.
Well, that goal happened so quickly, we didn't even get to bring it up yet, but the finishing efficiency was something we talked about, and Karina Laguerre certainly had it.
First of the year for her as well. And Duke play away from pressure here, get it switched. You would mention switching the point of attack, a big piece. And now they're all of a sudden finding space and confidence through passing. That's got to be a free kick. Challenge is late there on Minestrella.
Definitely a foul, but off that opposite side, Aries Freifeld has to step in a little bit tighter in that diamond midfield. Bella Gattino steps in, just a little bit too much force to Mia Minestrella.
Duke is trying to conjure up shots here. They've only had one in the last 35 minutes. And if you're Duke, you're loving this. You're loving seeing Linda Olmark back in her own defensive third of the field trying to pick the ball up.
And what's happening is that Duke's come out, they now have even more confidence, so they're setting play a little bit higher up the field. They're finding Karina Laguerre more, and then Olmark's having to come back and defend. So inevitably, when they do win the ball, she's further away from the opposition goal, which is exactly what Duke wants, to your point.
And I counter that with, there is always the direct set of Olivia Thomas. But Duke has defended her quite well. Fourth corner for Duke.
Everything in Duke, let's go. Second option's underneath when you...
And no rush to come over and take it. It's reflective of them getting into maybe the final third a little bit more near the end line.
They have figured out those wide channel areas, and it's really setting them up for these corner kicks.
Most everybody inside the 6-yard box that where it comes, it does not beat the first defender at the near post, but it's one back. It's a right-footed hit. Oh, what a goal! This is spectacular. That is hit with no regard for humanity.
Avery Oder, are you serious? That is an unbelievable strike from distance. It's on the recycling of play. She certainly doesn't look like a freshman, does she? She steps up right away. She beats Bella Debbie to the ball. Her first touch sets her up perfectly, and then it's just an absolute strike going into that far post, upper 90, hits the crossbar, hits the post, and comes back in. And you can see it based on the reaction. She can't believe it. She goes across with her teammates on the bench and just celebrates as she should.
5th goal of the year for her. It comes in spectacular fashion. She's a freshman from Calabasas, California, and has been in under-19 U.S. Youth National Team training camps. And what a spectacular goal. So in the first half, we were talking about tame finishing, lacking of confidence. Well, we've seen 2 spectacular goals here to start the second half. 2 goals in less than 5 minutes.
There has been no hesitation in either of the strikes for Karina Laguerre or Avery Oder. What I like about it is the lack of hesitation, which I just love that confidence, but also the technique on their first touch to set themselves up on angles. Little things like that allow you to even have the opportunity to conjure up a moment like we just saw.
Well, I think something that has to be brought into this, and this is a little tackle and a little bit of a push there, nothing much in that. But if you talk about the energy that Duke came out with, that's something I think that has to be associated with these 2 goals.
It does, and then when one goes in, you just now feel confident and you feel like you want to continue to go after it. You have that little bit of buffer that you know you have the lead, so you just start to play with a little bit of swagger and more confidence than you had in that first half.
Well, there's a chance for North Carolina to pull one back because they do need the game's next goal. And they need it bad. De La Rose with that cultured left foot in the box. It comes. It goes towards the back post. Still loose in the box and swiveled out of there. And it's going to be a free kick. Late challenge there. Coming from Olmark.
It was good service from UNC, though. This is as Cameron Roller clears it. Elle Piper does really well to get there. Late challenge from Linda Olmark. But good defending, good service from UNC, but good defending, better defending from Duke to make sure it doesn't turn into anything.
Some fantastic performances today from Elle Piper, from Avery Oder, really producing.
We kind of got the feel in that first half when we were talking about it where it was going to take something to beat these back lines because it was tame finishing. There weren't a lot of opportunities in the first half, but I felt that that was attributed to really good defending as well and just getting in the way, just having those 1v1 isolations defensively that were causing more half chances. It definitely has taken something special in those 2 goals by 2 individual players to take the lead.
And here it's one back. North Carolina whipped in the cross. Thomas was getting to the near post. It was a driven in cross by Bella Devi. And a good ball from Devi. And that would have been the ticket maybe back into the game for the Tar Heels. Here's a shot. Again, this one pulled wide. Kind of stabbing at it was Linda Olmark. Not a threat in that moment.
Well, this could be a way back into the game for the North Carolina Tar Heels. They're still pressing with a 2v2. Daya King under a lot of pressure, and Bella Devi completely commits to going forward. If Dysart doesn't do well to not allow a rebound, this can be a really dangerous opportunity. Expect the Tar Heels to continue to try to send runners forward, and Duke's going to have to figure out if they're willing to play out of the back.
Referee Nicole Green stopping play here for the moment. Yeah, that is the decision. It really is kind of a where do you find the right balance of playing out of the back based on the score relative to time, to risk you're going to take. You got a 2-goal lead here. You certainly don't want to gift anything back to North Carolina.
Well, it's so interesting, Glenn, because if you go direct and you get everyone high, then you leave space behind the back line. And so you've got to win the first and second balls and manage the space. But if you build out, you're inviting pressure to you. So there's never a great solution against a good pressing team, and North Carolina likes to do that, and so does Duke, to be honest, on the flip side. But I think there's the lesser of the problems if they go a bit more direct.
Hey, don't forget today, NWSL match, Angel City, the Houston Dash, both chasing the final playoff spot. 5 Eastern, the coverage on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and the all-new ESPN app. So catch the NWSL today between Angel City and the Houston Dash.
Well, that's a big-time game. 3 points separate those two teams. They're both trying to just put pressure on the playoff line, so that's a good one to watch.
Kansas City Current have been outstanding this year, just running
Unreal.
away with the #1 team in the Supporter Shield.
And setting records for most points, and there's still 2 games left in the league. So it's unbelievable what they've done. Vlatko Andonovski's done a great job there as the head coach.
Former U.S. Women's national team coach. Did coach on the men's side as well. It's a good idea, but it's going to allow for a tackle there. Sliding and coming across is Gattino, who's plugged a lot of holes at the back today. Excellent defender.
She's done a really good job, and she likes to be in possession as well, both sides of the ball. Does a really good job, likes to play direct, but defensively tracks the ball quite well.
Nice give and go, trying to line up the right foot. Touches a bit long there. It's still Duke in possession.
What we're seeing from Duke, too, is there's more inversion of the outside backs coming in, especially with Lexi Coughlin off that right side. It allows them to match the 4-against-4 in midfield that UNC's created. So that's why we're seeing a lot more possession from the Duke Blue Devils.
Getting good performances from a number of areas of the team.
Well, I was going to say that's why we're seeing possession, but I think that and confidence, which helps when you get the goals you get and you start to feel like you're adapting into the game. They were able to have moments of that in the first half, but it wasn't for extended period of time, and we're seeing that now here in the second half early on.
And these were goals with real wow factor to them. You know, these were just 2 spectacular
you
hits.
stay on cloud 9 after that when you not only if you score it yourself, but even seeing your teammate do something like that and just the pure reaction of it in such a critical game for both of these teams as well. It's not just about the rivalry. These teams need 3 points in trying to get into that ACC tournament, so it's critical.
North Carolina trying to play in there to Olivia Thomas, and the ball's kind of bouncing off her today. Her control maybe slightly at times, letting her down a little bit. We know how dangerous she is. 11 goals, 5 assists. She was the College Cup's outstanding player last year and had that incredible free kick to win the national title against Wake Forest.
Well, one thing about her game is she's incredibly good back to goal when she's inside the penalty box. She gets all the advantage. They can't be too aggressive on her. But in the middle third, continuing to work on that side of her game, she is at her best when she is facing forward and running. So the Blue Devils want to make sure she isn't allowed to do that in the half space.
And Damon Nahas saying that she still has an incredible upside.
100%.
That's a beautiful thing. As do probably all these players. But as a striker, she's got a lot of qualities and is going to look to enhance those. Well, Duke is doing what they did against Pitt, taking over in the second half, and that's what they're doing here today. And we did, Kieran Hall said to us in our meeting this week, the head coach of Duke, he did say, you know, I don't want my center backs with the ball too much. You know, to the whole point of playing out of the back. He wants them to break lines pretty quickly and get the ball into midfield and get through that first line of pressure. The game has become so much about pressing and counter-pressing. De La Rose. Ooh, it's drifted to the back post. It's a shooting opportunity and pulled wide. Would have been a wonderful cap of great defending here today for Caitlin Mara.
Well, and this is when you talk about finishing efficiency, and no, she's not a center forward or someone that goes high up the field, but you just want to get that on frame, and with the pressure on it, she just comes across it. You can see that little bit of a smile. She knows she mishits it in that moment. But UNC is going to have to figure out how to use those set pieces to have more efficient opportunities on frame.
Thomas trying to get turned. Thomas, oh, it's a nice entry ball. Player goes down in the box. UNC fans are wanting a penalty. Devi finally got broken up and knocked back over the halfway line.
So So something that Duke needs to be careful of is that they don't just give up the ball on clearances because they're a little bit worried about that UNC is pushing, because that's something that they can still control possession. There's a lot of time left in this game, so they want to connect that first pass when they are clearing out of the back. Olivia Thomas trying to hold up play. She does a really good job here to create separation by backing in, finds the feet of Kate Fossey. It's a little bit behind Kate Fossey. There is some contact there, but it wasn't in front of her. I think if that ball's in front of Kate Fossey to her right foot, one, she could have a potential for an opportunity to score, and two, then it could possibly be a foul.
But a great idea there, backing in a defender and then trying to find her. She might have been slightly offside as well, but it was a great idea. Here comes North Carolina again now. And it's driven off the legs and out for the goal kick. Tonight we have an NBA preseason doubleheader for you on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and the all-new ESPN app. Celtics hosting the Cavs at 7 Eastern. Then Nuggets are in LA squaring off against the Clippers tonight. That is the NBA preseason. Urgency now creeping in to North Carolina, down a pair of goals here. Laguerre in the 49th, Oder in the 53rd. Came in a span of 5 minutes. 2-0 lead for the Blue Devils of Duke.
It's much better ball retention with purpose from Duke. That's what's allowing this final third play.
Oder gets across, and the flashing header is going to go wide, scooped up by the goalkeeper, Hannah Johan.
Oder just tries to go into the wide space. When she sees the covering player, she gets it across quickly. You're probably not going to score from that angle. Mia Minestrella just trying to help it on. But that ball retention piece through the middle third, much better from Duke. North Carolina's committing numbers forward, so if they can bypass the press, but with purpose and connection, they find a lot of space in the final third.
This play, to me, typifies the engagement still of Duke. They haven't dropped off now because of a 2-goal lead. They haven't, dropped their level of intensity and concentration.
Well, this is where I have to bring up the rivalry as well. You have an opportunity not only to beat your rival, but to put more goals on them potentially. It has to be about win first and don't do anything that's going to allow UNC back in the game or vice versa. But also, you kind of relish the opportunity to then continue to outplay your rival.
Good 3-player move here. Lynch played it there to Laguerre. Here's another long-range hit, not bad. Joining into the attack here was Lexi Coughlin. Nice switching of the ball to the far side of the field to bring in an outside back.
Well, we heard it from Kieran Hall. You and I talked about it in the first half. Change of point against the midfield diamond of North Carolina, very important. It's just where you change the point. You can have a low starting position. You can have a direct change of point all the way on a diagonal. There's different opportunities for it. The more Duke can find that, the better for their attack.
Cameron Roller dictates a lot of the tempo with the distribution out of the back. She's got 3 assists on the year from Sherman, Texas.
Well, and here's the back three they kind of make themselves go into, Duke, and I think that's really helped them. And sometimes it's El Piper getting higher and Coughlin staying to help Roller and King, and sometimes it's the opposite, but it's making it harder for UNC to defend, and the triangles are easier found in midfield with the certain types of runs.
And with the trust in the 3 at the back, it allows you to have more targets in front of them.
We haven't really talked a whole lot about Daya King. It's just because I kind of forget she's a freshman at center back next to Cameron Roller. She looked really comfortable. She's gotten caught a few times on the press, but you're going against Kate Fossey and Olivia Thomas, some of the best pressing forwards in the country. But she's done a great job defensively in handling both of them. She has great athletic pace. She's smart in the way that she drops off and defends. And Duke just has UNC chasing. This is where you just have to find your defensive structure and get to that first, and don't chase all over the field necessarily, because Duke has the quality to just be able to move the ball around, and they have the confidence to go with it right now.
Going to ground went Piper. She's got such quick feet. Remember, North Carolina has a penchant for scoring goals late. This is plenty of time of soccer left here. Just under 25 minutes.
El Piper's been really involved since coming in, and it actually hits Linda Olmark's foot, so I think that's a little bit harsh in that moment, but there was a contact after it. El Piper is still down, so hopefully she's okay after taking the bit of contact.
All right, you want to see great goals? Well, we're going to show them to you. Let's start with the 49th minute. Laguerre with this. Oh, we're going to go to Avery Oder first.
Well, this really comes out of nothing from the throw-in, but Mia Minestrelli gets it across. Karina Laguerre strikes it with some venom off the left foot, and it's perfectly placed where Johan can do nothing about it. This is also a second phase of play opportunity. Avery Oder steps up, beats Bella Devi with one touch, and then absolutely unleashes a rocket to the back post. She's at full stretch, Johan. Nothing she could do about that. That one extends the lead for Duke over the Tar Heels.
You get that underside of the crossbar, wow factor. Two wonderful hits. And to your point, they don't come off big buildups. They come off pressure and winning second balls.
It's moments and staying locked in.
All right, here's the ACC standings.
And it's extremely tight, as it always is. This win for Duke would be critical. It puts them in that first half of the league in the conversation with still some games to play. For North Carolina, it's a missed opportunity if they don't figure out how to come back into this game.
By the way, number 3 Stanford with a conference record of 4-0-1. We're not in the 16-team reveal.
Exactly, but Florida State was in there, and Wake Forest was another one that's had a really good year that was on the outside looking in. The surprise, I think, for everyone is North Carolina State. They went winless in non-conference play, but new head coach, first-year coach Gary Higgins has really organized them, and they've come out in ACC play and done well.
We might be in the, I wasn't going to say the cradle of civilization, but the cradle of women's soccer right here in the triangle.
Women's soccer civilization, we can say that.
NC State, Duke, North Carolina. I mean, it's pretty incredible. And there's so many ties between all the players and coaches. People know each other.
Absolutely. It's a great area for women's college soccer, that's for sure. And then with having an NWSL team here in the local area as well in the North Carolina Courage.
Phoebe Goldwaith has come on for Duke. Getting her minutes now. Constant threat has been Oder with a nice little back heel here. She's producing the tricks and flicks now.
She's playing like we know she can, and she's shown, but she's also playing like a player that hit the type of goals she did, just with confidence and knowing that from an attacking standpoint, she's feeling good. She can dictate play, not just from goal scoring, but playing in the pockets and being a creator.
Devin Lynch. Devin Lynch is going to try one. Parry down. We thought that might go in as well today. These balls are jumping off the feet of Duke now.
There's more intentionality with the finishing in this second half, but it's coming from sustained possession as well. Devin Lynch goes for trying to get it into that near post area instead of looking to bend it far post with potential power. But that sustained possession helps because then they're better body position to go forward.
Thomas tackled away there, going to ground with a big tackle was Lexi Coughlin, who tucked in. Another sweeping tackle. All of these are full-blooded here now.
When Jocelyn Travers has been playing a lot, and now she's into the game for El Piper. She's a capable player, another freshman. When they were starting 3 freshmen on the back line, she was a part of it when Piper wasn't available to play. So a worthy player to come in and be able to help dictate play and also defend.
Player down now for North Carolina, slow to get up, Kate Fossey. She's got 7 goals, 3 assists on the year. We mentioned the All-American. More women's college soccer coming up at 3:30 over on the ACC network. Number 2, Notre Dame hosting SMU. Notre Dame has had, I think, 13 straight multi-goal games this season.
They've been incredible, just goal-scoring machine of a team, and going down early to Florida State, facing some adversity, coming back from a 2-goal deficit to win by 2 goals. So they're not untested either.
Going to be a free kick here, dragged down to the ground, Lauren Martino. Redshirt freshman. 15 fouls overall in this one. We're counting down towards the 22nd minute mark. Laguerre and Oder, goals for Duke. 2-0 lead here over University of North Carolina, the defending national champions. It's a sight we've seen a lot today is Gattino coming out of the middle, which tells you there's penetration out wide here today. It's kind of pulling her out of position.
It is. Mia Minestrella is really holding a central channel area, which I like. You really want your 9 to be able to operate centrally as this foul's called. North Carolina looking to go forward, but the other players are the ones running in behind, and it's forcing Gattino to respect those runs and drop.
Sense a little frustration creeping in. There's Julia Sonacheva, senior from San Jose. Came off the bench in the first half. Free kick pretty much straight out. See what type of runs here maybe North Carolina comes up with. Fairly high line here from Duke. De La Rosa's going to play it short. And then it's dropped in the box. Not a bad idea. Goes out for the goal kick.
I think it's a good decision to play Ashley Penny in that area because it changes the angle of service. When it's central like that, really hard, especially when you have a good goalkeeper in your opposition to play the central ball.
Changes for Duke now. Mia Oliaro and Farrah Walters will come on. Good work from Sonacheva, kept the effort and the edge in. When you talk of these 3 attackers and Omar Fassi and Thomas, I mean, they've been handcuffed today here for the most part.
They've really been kept quiet by the Duke back line and midfield, but also I think even more in the second half, it's been by the possession that Duke's had. So it's just minimized the ability to build up play. But there's still players that can create something out of nothing. So they're going to have to stay focused, Duke, if they want to continue.
Thomas trying to do that, whips in across there, trying to whip into the box there. Almost as though it's on cue. Kate Fossey was making the run. Thomas trying to find her, and she can distribute as well, Thomas.
She certainly can. That's something she's layered into her game, and she just draws so much attention in that area, and her distribution has just continued to get better and better. She holds up play. She's done better in these last few minutes of that. I like this ball in behind, just barely off, just a little bit too much pace. Well read by Darcer.
It's an area Damon Nahas said about Olivia Thomas that basically she can continue to improve her hold-up play. It's good, but it can continue to improve, and that's another level she can go to.
100%, and she has the frame to be able to do that. So it's stopping your body, slowing down, then being able to get the touch, and that'll just help North Carolina get more opportunities in the final third. They haven't been able to get hardly any shots, only 5 on the day, and their season low previously was 8 versus Georgia. So that just shows what Duke has been able to do from a defensive standpoint.
It's a bad ball. One back now by North Carolina. It allows Duke to provide the higher pressure, but they have found an outlet on the far side of the field. Boy, they're just really having a hard time linking up with Thomas. Even in moments like that when the Duke defense is a little bit higher, Casey.
Well, something that kind of gives a little bit here when you're playing with the 2 front is that you don't have that natural width for Kate Fossey or Olivia Thomas. And yes, Olivia Thomas operates in the 9 as well, but she goes from inside to out. But because they're matched up, it actually works better in the press more than the
ball,
possession.
It's one back by Thomas, or given to her. Thomas now trying to drive in the box, trying to get that right foot teed up. That could have been a critical moment there off a mistake that could turn the momentum in this game. Sweeping tackle, great cover coming from the far side of the field. Caitlin Mara That was a long run to get over here to make that tackle.
And Brown just came into the game just moments ago for Bella Gattino, and she gets caught a little bit on that, but great stuff, like you said, from Mara. It's the angle of approach. She sees it and reads it well.
Duke's, to your point, Duke's best defense here today against incredible attacking talent has been the ball, haven't it?
They really weathered the storm early on, where UNC's press was making them a little bit uncomfortable. And when you don't allow goals to happen or to concede in those moments, you can build into the game with the quality you do have on the ball, and that's what they've done.
Only 2 shots on goal for North Carolina, 5 for Duke. 2 of them spectacular goals from Laguerre and Oder. Some long-range shooting here today. Shooting to thrill. This has been impressive that the pressure continues here. There's been no dropping off. There's been no going into a low block. Duke has kept the intensity.
Well, sometimes most coaches will say the best defense is to keep the ball, and you just have to be organized underneath in your rest defense to make sure you have a numbers up situation when you do lose it.
Olmark came in to win the ball back for North Carolina. They're quickly besieged by Duke, and Duke forces them to cough it up again. They've won it back now. Towards the end line. Oliaro tries to knock it back. Gattino cleared it for North Carolina.
You can see Kate Fossey just urging her team on. They've got to get the lines a little bit higher if Fossey and Thomas are going to press.
Just pinballing around here in the middle third of the field.
Well, I do like the move from Damon Nahas of putting Gattino more into the midfield. She's been known to score goals. She loves to naturally go forward. And so you're not really worried about giving up another goal, even though she's been good defensively. They need more numbers willing to go forward and attack here.
Yeah, to get something out of it today, they got to get the game's next goal, and they're under 16 minutes and counting. Be a throw in here for Duke. No rush to take it. 4th-ranked Pitt travels to Tully Gymnasium in Tallahassee, Florida to face Florida State today at 3 Eastern on ESPN in an ACC women's college volleyball matchup. Right here. Oliaro was open in the box. It swiveled in. It's another fantastic goal. It is 3-0 Duke. Devin Lynch delivers.
Incredibly efficient attacking from the Duke Blue Devils. Great finishing technique on all 3 goals, and Devin Lynch steps up in a big moment to really eliminate pressure on this team. Getting in the wide space was Farrah Walters. Mara's not able to make the tackle. It's the run of Oder that attracts Bella Debbie, but there's no one tracking Devin Lynch. That has to be tracked in that moment from midfield, but you have to give her credit. An absolutely beautiful finish with power. She bends it with pace, and another one. They just keep hitting bangers from distance.
Quality of goals here in the second half after the first half, where even her coach is talking about the fact that the finishing wasn't great. 3 spectacular goals here, and this is entertainment. Oder in full flight here, looking right, looking left. Lynch is going to square it back. It's still loose. All came off the post. Players falling everywhere. Shot and banged in. Came off a player laying on the ground. It is 4 for Duke. And they're going to have to take a look at this.
And the reason that's being looked at is because there's a player on the ground. She'll be seeing if she's in an offside position, potentially. It's Mia Oliaro as Farrah Walters hits it across. If they step the line, could potentially be offside as Oliaro's on the ground. It does look like they step when it's hit, so this may not count, but still give credit to Duke. They look hungry and they're going after it.
Well, here's Lynch. This is wonderfully hooked back by Lynch.
And Johan gets a touch on it, goes off the crossbar. It throws off Mia Oliaro. Watch Brown, who had the collision. Does she step quick enough to pull her offside? It does look like she does. But, oh, is Mara on that opposite side? If she's still on the line, then it will be on.
Mara looked like she potentially kept Duke on side.
And they'll be looking at the impact of the ball when it was struck. Was Mara higher than a yard from the inline? That's what they'll be looking at in that moment. But see, she's down right there. She has to step. And as watch your left corner of your screen as she'll come back into view. Brown does step in this moment. Oh, that's incredibly close. It does not look like Mara may have stepped enough. This is going to be tight.
Looks a goal to me.
Yeah, I mean, if it's even, it's on. And so we know that, and yeah, she looks like she's going to be onside.
It'll be the strangest goal she ever scored if it counts.
She'll take it. Yeah, so you got Mara here. She stays along the line. As soon as this ball goes out, she has to step forward and pull her offside like Brown does. She doesn't, and she looks to be just as close, if not closer, than Mia Oliaro. I think this is going to count.
Caitlin Mara has had a great game today. I mean, I know it's hard to say with the amount of goals being scored here by Duke, but had a very solid first half. Is a big part of it.
It's so incredibly quick. We slow it down on the camera, and it looks obvious in that moment. But with how fast that is happening, yes, you need to step anytime a ball goes backward away from goal to try to condense the space and draw players offside. But she's just trying to get back into the area after she's made or attempted to make a tackle in the wide space. So it can be hard to do that quickly.
So Duke in 57 meetings. This is just their 11th multi-goal game against North Carolina. Nicole Green.
Well, this is very interesting. We'll take a look back at it. And so this is the angle we have here. And it looks like they're even in this, which would normally mean onside, but maybe her toe's a little bit closer. I mean, this is so incredibly close. It's unbelievable, Glenn.
So it remains 3-0. Duke now trying to manage this one out here. Under 15 minutes left here in Durham, North Carolina. It's Duke with a 3-0 lead here over North Carolina. Glenn Davis, Casey White. We have seen some spectacular goals here in the second half. Duke has really taken over every facet of the game here in the second half, if we're being fair.
They really have, and the midfield unit defensively of North Carolina looks out of sorts. It looked more like one single pivot in the first half with 3 up and looking like a diamond. Now it's looking more like a box. I think that's just because they're having to chase right now and chase the game, and Duke has made them pay by moving it quickly and at pace.
Phoebe Goldwaite comes back on. Tessa De La Rose comes back on. Big round of applause for Avery Oder, the freshman, scoring one of the spectacular goals here today for Duke as she takes a seat. Are you surprised that Duke has been this dominant in this game? This is the same thing they did to Pitt in their prior game.
I think they've showed that they've been able to adapt in games to what teams have thrown at them, and then today is no different.
Devi on a weaving run here. Oh, nice ball with the outside of her foot. There's just such a concentration of Duke players central. Goldthwaite came out of there initially, but North Carolina back in possession here now. Olivia Thomas is pulled wide again. Weaving and Turney, Ashley Penny, Delarose. North Carolina's got to look forward here.
And they're trying to build it out of that 3-back to get Bella Devi a little bit higher, but Duke just has a little extra in their step right now. On the ball, off the ball, they just look really comfortable. They're moving quickly, they're adapting quickly, and UNC is a bit out of sorts just from how this second half has gone.
It's Farrah Walters, number 17, trying to get turned. She came in with fresh legs, has brought some good energy.
She does. She has a lot of pace, a lot of work rate high up the field, and I like that she cut the ball back for that third goal. Really good decision making with knowing that defenders are going to retreat towards their own goal. So ultimately there's a space vacated at the top of the box and you just have to get it there. Your midfielder's responsibility is to make that run, and Devin Lynch did it.
By the way, Devin Lynch had a goal and an assist against Pitt, and now he's got 3 goals and 4 assists on the year.
Well, what's incredibly scary about this Duke team is that this is without Kat Rader, excuse me. She is their top goal scorer, not playing in this game, and other players have stepped up with the opportunity and figured out how to deliver.
Back to Lynch. Last year, she had 8 straight games with a goal and or an assist. If you're looking for the Harvard-Yale game, you go over to ESPN News. That's where they are, or you go to the ESPN app. Ticking down towards 10 minutes left here. Duke has got Virginia Tech away, Syracuse at home, NC State away, and then Clemson at home. Here comes North Carolina now. Got good running here. Devi saved at the near post. Carolyn Dysart has been protected well today here. They angled off the run of Bella Devi.
A really nice save, good attacking transition moment. Kate Fossey puts a good amount of texture on this. It just dives in behind the back line. Devi going for power. I like the choice because usually you're looking to go far post, but it almost catches Dysart off guard.
Olmark. Water doesn't beat that person at the near post. It's still North Carolina. Delarose. Olmark out wide. She's capable of magic. And a good cross like that one. Off the turn. Tons of bodies. There's just not much space in that penalty area. The box defending has been excellent from Duke.
It has. There's been good recovery. And what's really been lacking for the North Carolina Tar Heels is the ability to set possession in the second half. They have not had time to breathe. They've had to rely on some attacking transition and half chances. And normally this team is very comfortable in possession. So credit Duke in the way they've kept the ball, but also defended with their counter pressing and not letting North Carolina get comfortable.
Trying to work the give and go. You hold your breath every time somebody's shooting from longer range here in the second half.
It has to be said, though, that there are 3 spectacular goals, and not to take anything away from that, but you could be dominating like Duke is and not have had those 3 finishes, and it could be a very different game, and they still would have played as good as they have. But then you have that finishing efficiency and just the technique that they've stepped up with. They've got to be so happy to have both.
Yeah, 3 goals from in and around the 18 or outside the 18. I mean, they all came in front of a defense. It's a really good point. Our next NWSL match is today between Angel City and the Houston Dash, with both chasing that final playoff spot. Coverage begins at 5 Eastern on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and the all-new ESPN app, so you can watch it anywhere.
So we'll take a look back at this. This initial save is made, and this was the goal that was called back. Mia Oliaro goes down. Brown steps. Johan has to step as well, and this is why it's called offside, because now Mara is the last defender, and Mia Oliaro is beyond Johan and Brown. So by the rule of the offside, that is why it's called. It has nothing to do with Mara's positioning in that moment.
Another cross whipped in. Mara got a leg on it. Duke. Now we're going to have to recover here. There's big space down the right side. And the pass skips past. You saw. Just got past. Daya King. Thought I saw the linesman about to lift his flag and then put it back down. It's Duke, though, with the ball back now towards the corner flag. They're making Farrah Walters do some running up front. Big day for Mia Oliaro. She has been excellent as of late. Junior from Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and a former UNC player. That's when it gets tricky, when you're transferring from one of these schools to the other.
Yes, it does.
Thomas was trying to get there. Dysart is out of goal and will get there.
I tell you what, the scary moments for Duke when you've got Olivia Thomas going in, and then you've got Kate Fossey on the other side. They're looking to press. They haven't stopped running. Give them credit for that. But Daya King and Lexi Coughlin as freshmen have done a really good job just getting a little bit of a body on them, something to try to slow them down.
Well, it's been a blend of youth and experience here today for Duke, that's for sure. So Olivia Thomas coming out with under 7 minutes left. Is that surprising to you? Your 11-goal scorer coming off on a day like this against Duke?
I mean, anything can happen, but with 6 minutes to go in the game and a 3-0 lead, it is highly unlikely that there's going to be 3 goals to tie it up. But it can happen, so I'm not surprised. You're looking at other games as well. Duke has definitely earned this lead, and you can get other players in.
Let's talk about North Carolina's upcoming schedule. They've got SMU away, Miami away, and then finish the season at home to Syracuse and NC State. And again, you got to be in the top 6. That's what Damon Nahas is looking for when it comes to the ACC Conference Championship, which sends a team who wins it to the NCAA tournament. Big space out wide here. Cross driven on the ground. Hit hard and whipped across the face of goal from Oliaro. She has been exceptional today.
That was a great ball across. Really good defending from Avon Alvarez as well, because it looked like it was going to be a tap-in on that far side. So much pace on the ball as it's driven across the 6-yard box.
The focus, the concentration from Duke today has really been impressive. They have not stopped. It's like they haven't taken their foot off the pedal.
They've looked really sharp in this second half, and I think the lack of depth of North Carolina showing a little bit with Malsom and Riley Kennedy being gone, and there's players that have come in like Amara who has stepped up and played well, but that can be incredibly hard, and Duke has taken advantage of that.
Nobody's writing off North Carolina. Nobody ever does. They're 9-4. This result holds, they'll go to 3-3 in the ACC. Under 5 minutes left here. This would be just the 7th win for Duke all time against North Carolina. Two of the great young coaches in the women's college game today we've seen on display.
100%. There's going to be a lot of very good battles between these two teams, two programs, that it has been throughout the years, and these two new coaches as well.
Direct ball, this one to Oliaro again, who's been a prime target here. Get the ball to her feet. This time the cross doesn't hit the right area, but another good ball out of the back from Cameron Roller. Speak to her a little bit today, because her maturity and her just composure, I think, is something that sticks out.
I think it took her a little while to get into the game, the first 10 or 15 minutes, dealing with the longer, more direct balls of Bella Gattino and Olivia Thomas going in behind. But she settled in, started to read those services a little bit better. But I like what she does on the ball. She's definitely broken pressure quite well, especially in the second half. There wasn't a lot of separation in the first half of these teams, and I actually thought North Carolina had the better run of play, even though they didn't have the majority of shots. But in the second half, Roller's been a big part of both sides of the ball for Duke.
Another cross whip, then Duke just continuing to pressure and look for goals here, even with a 3-0 lead here with under 4 minutes left. Allmark.
One of the things that the Tar Heels have to be thinking about as well with bringing someone like Olivia Thomas off is what they have ahead. 2 games on the road, one quickly coming up versus SMU, and SMU is right underneath them in the ACC standing. So Duke with securing this win really makes a jump, but the North Carolina Tar Heels have to also look at that next game and what that could mean.
Ooh, it's a header that comes back, but very alert off her line is Caroline Dysart. Dysart today wants to continue to get that clean sheet. As a team, Duke will look to try and do that as well. Something to say if you've shut out North Carolina, that's for sure. Goldthwaite. She's a junior from Durham. How about that?
And 2 sisters as well that have played in the ACC, so they got a lot of soccer players in that family.
Caught a lot of games here, I'm sure, when they were little. So Duke working on win number 8 here. They would go to 3-3 in the ACC. They would equal the record of UNC. Tough day today for that very talented player, Tessa De La Rose. Big day for Mia Oliaro. And then a big day for that man, Kieran Hall, the head coach. Under a minute left in this one here in Durham, North Carolina. Cross coming into the near post. It was missed. It's stuffed in. The shutout is going to get broken. North Carolina has scored. Aries Freifeld will break the shutout. There's 45 seconds left.
And it was the ball from Kate Fossey that goes across. Olivia Thomas, everyone's paying attention to. Give credit to Freifeld on the backside. Uses the one-touch finish. It'll be a consolation for them, but right here, just looking to play in behind. Kate Fossey might have been in an advanced position, or Olivia Thomas might have been ahead of the ball on that, as this is being reviewed right now. So potentially offside position for the North Carolina Tar Heels.
Olivia Thomas had the first bite at that cross and chance, but it was great framing of the goal there by Freifeld, to her credit.
So they'll be looking at, is Olivia Thomas in advance of where Kate Fossey is playing the ball across? Good framing on the backside by Freifeld. Whether this counts or doesn't count, it's good organization in the penalty area.
Well, she's got 2 goals on the year. She hopes it's her 3rd, but I love the idea that she never stopped her run, to your point, framing the goal and getting to that back post, because sometimes it just goes through everybody.
It does, and she's going to be critical to this next stretch as well. She's that next player up, and she's going to have to step up, and she does really well in that moment.
Okay, we're being told this will stand, and this will be a good goal for Aries Freifeld. Freshman. So it's a 3rd of the year for her, and Aries Freifeld has broken the shutout here. Dysart's just going to drive this one over the halfway line, begin to put a bow on this one here, and begin to wrap this one up, Casey.
Well, it's been a great performance from Duke, especially in the second half, and it's a matter of just getting moments, getting goals. They can really change games, and when you come out in the second half and you're able to get a goal like they're able to, you can just use that to propel you forward.
17 seconds left. Goes over the top. This is going to be an own goal. This is craziness at its worst. It is now 11 seconds left. It is now 3-2. And the Tar Heels have scored, or have gotten the gift of a second goal from Cameron Roller.
It's incredibly bizarre moments here, but the ball's played over the top. It's Bella Gattino that's going through. If Kate Fossey touches that, Bella Gattino's in a pretty advanced position. Cameron Roller just has a very interesting moment, very uncharacteristic for her, and hits it into her own net.
Absolutely bizarre. Kieran Hall was pushing his team up. It is going to end 3-2, and 3 spectacular second half goals will take precedent here today. Kieran Hall and Duke are winners. Anything to add to it, Casey?